So I've been paying attention a little bit to this Tupac trial with Keefe D. And if you're not aware of what's going on, of course, the unfortunate unaliving of Tupac that happened around 30 years ago is finally coming to trial because one of the individuals that was involved decided to write a book. If you're not familiar with this case, or if you're not familiar with what's going on, it's all over the internet. Pac's been dead for 30 years, so I'm not going to go over everything that happened, every little detail. There's plenty of movies, documentaries, interviews online, so you can figure it out, or talk to an OG, a parent, brother, sister that was alive, and they can give you a quick rundown of it, but I'm not about to do it. The thing about this Pac trial that I'm starting to hone in on is that the guys who were once gangsters or still consider themselves gangsters, it's looking like what Pac said on Machiavelli. Niggas looking like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick. You know what I'm saying? Like these gangsters that was once prominent or once was running their neighborhoods or terrorizing other black people are looking dusty today. They're looking horrible. And this is something that a lot of our youth don't pay attention to. When they look at gangsters, they either looking at the rap, they're looking at movies, but they're never looking at the individuals that's actually around them in their city or their town or their neighborhood. You know, because a lot of these guys that were once, the top gangster are either dead, a junkie, or in jail somewhere. Or just out looking dusty as hell. Like, Jadakiss had a line on one of Jay-Z's albums where he was like, gangsters don't die to get chubby and move to Miami. Well, that's not the case anymore. Gangsters nowadays, or the gangsters of yesteryears, they either get chubby, they become addicts, they go to prison, or they die. They're not making money like the mob was making or like BMF was making, where they could probably put some money to the side, or they was funneling illegal money into a legal business, so when they got out of prison, they had a little nest egg on the side. Now, most of these gangsters spent the little bit of money that they was making immediately. They buy the car, they buy the jewelry, they buy some guns, drugs, and alcohol. And then 25, 30 years later, they're on the stand talking about something that happened 30 years ago, looking dusty as hell, looking broke as hell. You know? Like, these kids today are so infatuated with this gangster lifestyle because they just want to be able to twist a finger, do a dance, carry a rag in their left or right pocket, and then be considered something that they're truly not. You know? It's even like when you're looking at that Fulio case with those kids or those young men in Florida, that little light-skinned kid, I don't even know his name, he did not want to be there. He should have never been around those guys. But he was so infatuated with the life, now he's serving a life sentence for the rest of his life. And what we need to do with a lot of these young kids, especially these suburban kids, you know how like when the Amish, before they turn 18 or when they turn 18, they allow them to go live in the city for maybe a week or two to see if that's the lifestyle they really want to live. And if not, they can always come back. That's what we need to do with a lot of these young suburban kids. Have them go live in the ghetto or the hood or the projects for a week and actually stay there and walk around and deal with these guys have to deal with. Because what they have to deal with isn't fun. And the circumstances that they've been put in or they was born in isn't their fault. I do get that. But the idea that you're going to be a gangster and you're going to grow into some larger than life figure, 9 times out of 10 is not going to happen. 9 times out of 10, you're either going to die or go to prison. 9 times out of 10, we will forget your name. 9 times out of 10, if you had a girlfriend, well, guess what? That's someone else's woman now. 9 times out of 10, whoever was rocking with you in the streets is going to forget you when you go to prison. Like, that's what it is. Or 9 times out of 10, you're going to be looking like these guys that's on a Tupac stand in the Nevada courtroom looking broke, dusty as hell. And too many of us is being fooled into the idea that this is a lifestyle that we should want or we should gravitate to or pay some sort of homage to. Most of these guys in these gangs ain't even really making no real money. Like at least when the mob was running around back in the day, especially New York, Vegas, Philly, wherever, Jersey, Pennsylvania, I already said that. You know what I mean? Like they was really getting to the money. They was really involved in illegal activities and legal activities. When you looked at guys like BMF and, you know, the Frank Lucases of the world, and, you know, yeah, they was committing crime, but they was at least getting to the money. Most of these guys make enough to re-up to buy whatever it is that they're selling again, so they could buy some more dope, some more some alcohol and some sneakers. That's it. There's no 401k in the streets. They have no life insurance. They have nothing. But those are the guys that we're supposed to hold up and believe are larger than life. These guys can't even afford a lawyer. And they talk about taking someone's life. These guys can't even afford health insurance. And they're dealing with health issues, which we all will deal with or can deal with. I'm not saying that I'm immune to it, but they don't even have that. They don't even have it for their kids. But I'm supposed to be impressed by what they're doing. That gangster shit is dead, man. All that shit is dead. All that, I want a roughneck or a tough guy or a guy that's from the streets, that's cool and everything, but the streets has an expiration date. I don't know what expires faster, your time on the streets or milk. It might be the same. You get nothing from it. I've known too many stories of people, women, dealing with men that was in the streets. Either something happened to them, they go to prison, and they're not even around to help raise the kids. They end up going to prison, getting strung out on another dope just to deal with the pressures and the stress of being in prison. You know, you try to tell a guy, yo, maybe you should, if you don't want to go to school. I didn't go to college. I went to the military. Like, yo, maybe you want to try going to the military. Oh, I'm not joining no white man's military. Yeah, but you go to a white man's prison. You drink the white man's liquor. You do the white man's drugs. Your girl would be on the white man's Section 8. Your kids would be going to school named after some Confederate soldier. But you won't go to the white man's military to better yourself. You know? That's why I don't believe none of it. So Pac was right. Half these niggas looking like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick, trying to play hate. And that's all it is. When they see a guy that's actually doing something or a woman that's actually doing something, they try to drag you down and make you feel less than. Don't ever feel less than because someone wants you to be a gangster. That gangster shit is dead. It is dead. Stay away from it. But watching this trial just has me thinking about gangsters and how we once held them to such high regard. And they don't even love each other. They don't even stick up for each other. They don't even take care of each other. They may fight for each other in that moment. They may shoot for each other in that moment, but that's not taking care of each other. Taking care of each other or taking care of someone is making sure they don't get put in that position that they can get hurt or put you in a position where you might get hurt. That's taking care of somebody. But that's my spill on this gangster shit. I guess this whole Pac trial has me really, I don't know, stand on a soapbox and feeling a way about gangsters and shit. You know what I mean? Anyway, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Let me know how you feel in the comments. You know what it is. Fresh thoughts.